to Narrowboat Precious Jet. My name's Steve Tyrrell. Today we're going to walk the Coventry Canal. We're going to walk to it first. So at the moment I'm currently on Binley Road, not far from my home in Coventry, and we're going to walk into town, have a little walk around town, because a few of my subscribers are ex-Coventry Pats. And some of them haven't been to Coventry town for 20 or 30 years. So I'm going to have a quick wander around part of the town just to show them what it looks like now, because it's massively changed to how it used to look. So bear with us for a few minutes, and then once we're on the Coventry Canal we'll get more footage. Hopefully there'll be a few boats moving, but we'll see. So today it's just me, Charlie boy. Lady PGA is not very well, so yeah, it's just me and the dog today. So anyway, stand by, we'll see what we can do for you. Hope you enjoy. Please consider subscribing, by the way. I always say that. It'd be absolutely fabulous to have you along. Okay, let's get into it. This is Humber Road here, and Binley Road going across in front of us. And this used to be the old loop line for Coventry, because Coventry was quite industrial, so the loop line was designed so that goods trains could come in and go out the city without disrupting major line mainline trains or passenger trains. So this used to be a railway line here. So if you remember Binley Road years ago, as you come into town there'd be a low bridge. Well, the low bridge is now gone, and so is the railway line, but they've used the railway line for a bypass road. So that road now takes you out towards junction 3 of the M6 out towards Neaton. So that's the first major change that you guys probably wouldn't recognise from when you were younger. And over there, that's obviously Far Gosford Park, or Gosford Park over there in the distance. So right, let's carry on. So we're now at the junction of Binley Road and Far Gosford Street. And there's a new road runs down here now, that's called Sky Blue Way, and it runs at the back of what used to be Lloyd's Bank and then down into the city centre. I'm not sure whether there's old houses down there or factories. I can't remember it from when I was a kid. I know just at the back of the Lloyd's here, the old Lloyd's Bank, my Uncle John used to have an electrical shop in there. That's going back a bit. And there used to be a wallpaper, like a DIY wallpaper place there as well. These are only bits I can remember when I was a kid, because my memory. So that's going up towards Ball Hill over there. So you're going back up towards the railway track and up under the bridge and up over Ball Hill. And this is the top of Far Gosford Street here now. And there's the old Lloyd's Bank there, look. I think it's been converted into student accommodation now. So right, let's keep going anyway. And we'll have a look down Far Gosford Street. A lot of the shops here have changed now. They're now multicultural, like Polish supermarkets and like Russian type supermarkets, all that sort of stuff, Turkish and all that. It's absolutely fabulous. Some of the restaurants up here are awesome, absolutely great. What used to be my favourite restaurant is down here, and that was a Lebanese restaurant at the bottom. Right, let's have a wander down. Just at the bottom of Far Gosford Street now. This is all new here, look. This is all student accommodation. And then on the left hand side here used to be what was known as Astley's. I think Astley's still have a place in Coventry somewhere, but they were here at the bottom of Far Gosford Street. This is also a place where they used to make motor cars. So the Calcutt brothers used to own this place, hence the reason why it's still called Calcutt, look. There's a little sign here. See if I can get that in. Okay, if you guys want to read that, do you want to pause now? Okay, Calcutt Brothers. And then this is the end of Far Gossard Street. That's Gossard Street up there anyway. This used to be where, like I said, used to be Astley's. This is all student stuff now. That's all student accommodation. The old Astley's building, that's all student accommodation. There's a new road pushed in there, over there. Look, that takes you to the bottom of Sky Blue Way. And here is the River Sherborne. So I did a video on the River Sherborne, and that crosses just under here, look. And I'll do a link to that, to the video above the screen now. So there'll be a link there for the River Sherborne. And that's the river. This is where it comes out of the town. It runs under the town in a culvert. It comes out just here. Just the other side of that little bridge there. Right, let's carry on. Carry on into town and have a look. In Far Gossard Street. I believe this building on the left here used to be the old unemployment office. But I never went there, so I can't remember exactly what it used to be. It's all student stuff now. It's all part of the Coventry University. All this stuff on the right hand side, this is all part of Coventry University. And just at the top of the hill there, you can just see the flyover for the ring road. That's been here since what, 60s. So there you go. And this building, they put a new top on it. Where you can see up there, it extended up by 2 floors. Did quite a good job of it actually. Anyway, let's carry on. We've just come up under the ring road now on Far Gossard Street. Just through the trees there, you can see the old monastery. And then you've got the university library over there and the new building behind it. Looking down Cock Street there, you can just see the back of the elephant, the grey elephant, which is the sports centre. As I say, that's the old Odeon building in front there. Look, that's also now part of the Coventry University. Everything on this part of the city now belongs to Coventry University, pretty much. This is the Herbert Art Gallery on the right-hand side. That's definitely a place worth looking at if ever you're in Coventry. Although I believe it's going to be moving soon. I think they're going to put it all in the old IKEA place. It's going to be a big art centre there, I believe. So this is the Herbert Art Gallery and Museum. And we're still coming up Gossard Street now. That's all changed over there. Look, so opposite the art gallery. I remember that pub there being called the Godiva, I believe. Seen a great band in there in the basement years ago. So that's all been flattened over there, look. Just coming up on the council house as well. So if I move out a little bit, you'll see the council house in front of us, look. Let's get a little bit closer and do another film. So there's the council house. You can just see the old cathedral peeping through there, look, through the gap. So we're now on at Earl Street, and that's the council house. There used to be a walkway. Oh, hang on a second. Nice old picture of Coventry, look. Doesn't look like that anymore. Looks nothing like that. Yeah. That's not long after the war by the look of it, because there's a lot of craters and a lot of bomb hole and a lot of flattened buildings. Anyway, go back to where I was. So there used to be a walkway across the top here from one side of the council house to the new buildings on the far side, and the walkway came out there, and for years they had a board in there painted to look like a window once they took the walkway down, and it's nice to see now they've actually got around to putting the window back in properly. So walking down Earl Street, that's Hale Street through there. Some lovely old buildings down there. It's the old Courtyard pub. Seen a good couple of bands in there over the years as well. So there's the Lady Godiva clock. And there's Lady Godiva herself. She's facing the wrong way now. She used to be pointing towards us because she used to ride towards the clock. And then above the clock, on the hour every hour, Peeping Tom comes out, has a good look at Lady Godiva's boobies, covers his eyes because he goes blind. When they built this place here on the right, they decided they wanted to move and face the other way to make it more aesthetically pleasing. I don't think it is, but some people do. I think they should have left it as it was, but that's just my opinion. So this is the old Telegraph building, and then on the left hand side over there you've got the Belgrade Theatre. Wait. Come on. Okay, we're just coming up to Lamb Street now. In front of us here, this used to be the old Royal Mail sorting office in the city centre. And once again, it's all student accommodation now. The old Stag pub. And then there used to be Fretton's motorcycles. But I don't think that's student now, I think that's actually a new living area, like apartments and stuff. May well be student, I don't know. Oh, it does say brand new student living. Huh, I can't read. Okay, let's carry on. And at the back there, what used to be the old Pink Parrot nightclub. And this at the back here now, this is the back of the Transport Museum in Coventry. Awesome stuff. Right, next up, Canal Basin. Coventry Canal Basin. Part of the old warehouse in there, look. This all used to be bonded, this did. There's a little story about the bridge as you come in. This is all a bonded area. It's all bonded warehousing. I still think it's a pity that someone like Tesco's or Sainsbury's haven't put a shop under there or something. I think it'd do really well here in the basin. It'd bring a lot of people into the basin and make more use of it because it's very underused, the Coventry Basin. And the original weighbridge is just in that building there, or to the side of the building anyway. Excellent stuff. And the arches over there, they're old coal arches. They used to store coal in them arches under there. It's now been converted into a bar area. I've seen some great bands in there over the years. I believe some of the two-tone band, sorry I'll say that again, I believe some of the early two-tone stuff was played in there as well. But there's a sign on the wall, so we're going to have a look at that in a minute. Awesome. This is probably one of my favourite areas of the Coventry Canal. And whenever I come down here in Precious Jet and more up, that's my favourite spot, just over there. I do like the old workboats. I've got narrowboat Chub. There's just something, well, I suppose it's the history of the canal, isn't it? Everything's all, you know, this is almost back to the original history, isn't it, with the workboat? Because the canals are only here because of working and, you know, but that's brilliant. I do like that. I have seen Chub around a few times, you know, so, yeah. Holiday boats out. It's nice to see the holiday boats out again. We've got a nice little tug at the end here, look. See if we can see a name on the side of the tug. See, modern day canal boat tugs look nothing like the olden day tugs. No, there's no name, just a number. 4000192. Awesome. Right, let's get on with walking. Make our way out to Swan Lane Wharf. Oh, I'm so glad that weren't wrapped around my prop, look. That'd spoil your day, wouldn't it, if it was wrapped around your propeller. So going back to these arches here. It's called the vaults now, or it was called the vaults before. But there's a little sign here, look. And I'll take a photograph of it and I'll put it on here now. Just so you can have a read rather than me reading it out to you. Because reading out loud, as probably some of you viewers that have watched my channel for years, you'll know, I can't read out loud. You know, in fact I'm going to have to bleep that out. I'm terrible at reading out loud, I really hate it. So I'll put a photograph in now. Right, the story behind the bridge number 1 of the Coventry Canal. So like I said earlier, Coventry, the basin Coventry, sorry, was a bonded warehouse. And they wouldn't allow boaters to moor in here overnight. So they made the bridge small for a reason. And then at night they'd gate off this bridge. There'd be a gate here. And you can see the workings here in the floor, in the stonework, look. Where there'd have been a gate. There you go, look. And then at night they'd have closed the gate and no boats would have been allowed in. So I don't know whether it had been like a lock gate or something like that, because there's something over there, look, that a lock gate could have sat in, or whether it was just like a pull down, I don't know, portcullis or something like that maybe. But the bridge was gated off overnight. And no boats were allowed to stay in here overnight. So, and the little square cut into the bridge there, that was done during the Second World War, so that firemen had got access to the canal to use the canal as water. So there's a nice little sculpture. If you walk down the Coventry Canal through Coventry, there are various sculptures all the way through, and this is one of them. And if I see any more on the way up to Swan Lane, I'll definitely point them out to you guys. But there are various little sculptures all around here. Awesome. This is what's left of the Daimler factory that was here in Coventry, and Daimler made the first, England's first production car was made here in Coventry. And at one stage I think there was something like 15 or 16 different car manufacturers in Coventry itself, and now we're down to 2, I think. But Coventry was the centre. At one stage Coventry was Motown, England's Motown, because it was where all the, not Motown, not the music Motown, but Motor Town, as in Detroit. Cause they called that Motor Town in Detroit because that's where all the cars are made. And at one time Coventry was England's Motor Town. It's where all the car manufacturers came here, you know. So this is what's left of the Daimler plant. So that's the old boiler house there, and you'd have had the canal barges come down delivering coal, and all the way along here, and you'll find all the way through Coventry, both sides of the canals are there's wharfs all the way out on both sides. All the way out you'll see wharfs, and that was because everything was done, industry followed the canal out, and everything needed coal in them days, you know. Back until the early 60s everything was run on coal almost. So yeah, every single part of the canal bank is what used to be a wharf. Anyway, let's keep going. Just see on the side the new build up there, look. Oh, Charlie's barking. Coventry Canal Company. A nice little nod and a wink to the history of the area. He's barking at ducks. Look at him, so happy with himself. He's just a noisy little yob. There he goes again. I'm sure you guys don't want to hear him shouting at ducks. Right, so if you're ever coming in between Bridge 2 and the Electric Wharf, you come to this building here. I think it's still part of the old Daimler works. Anyway, that's not the story. The story is people who live in the bottom flats don't like the fact there's trees here, so they have been known to come out and cut the trees down and let them fall into the canal. And here's one of them here, look. So if you are coming between Bridge 2 and 1 down the Coventry Canal in Coventry, just be very careful, because there's trees in the canal. So if you see bits sticking out, if you think that there is just a little branch, don't assume it's a little branch. It's not a little branch. Because I don't know if you can see down there, there's a hole about 3 foot underneath. There's a whole trunk about 6 inches thick, and it comes all the way back down to here, look. And that's the base of it there, where all that rubbish is. That's the base of the trunk. So that's what, 20 foot long? So just be very careful. Okay, just come up to Bridge 2. And you can see again, look, holes cut into the bridge, so the fire brigade could get access to the water. And go through Bridge 2. This it's quite narrow under a Bridge 2, and a few boats have been known to hit the side here. Oh, see, now I love this. I love these. I think most of you know what that is. But years ago, when the horses used to pull the boats along, that's the rope marks from the ropes, and the horse would come through this way and pull the boat along that way over there. So I'm pointing, you can't see. The horses would head that way, and this is where the ropes would have cut into this, and this was here to protect the bridge, stop the bridge brickwork wearing out. I love that. Fabulous, nice little bit of history. And then on the left hand side here, just by Bridge 2, you have the Cashers building. Cashers is a very famous name in Coventry. I've said this before. They're silk weavers. And years ago, not so much years ago, but even in local history, or recent history should I say, if you're my age, 50, or a little bit older, your parents probably sewed your name into your school uniform. And there's a good chance that your your name tag was made by cashers, and they were little silk tags with your name on it. But cashers were silk weavers, so the silk weavers used to live on site, and the bottom 2 stories were their homes, and that's where they lived. And they were quite small houses, very narrow, very small houses. And then the rooms at the very top there with the big windows was where they used to weave the silk, and they had big windows so they could see what they were doing basically. And then at one end there'd be a big generator house with a big steam engine, and the steam engine would run like a machine gear all the way through the attic, and then that'd come down into the house to power the looms. So there you go. I think there was originally supposed to be 170 houses or something. I think they only did, in the end, I think they only actually made about 80 or 90. It weren't many. So there you go, a little bit of history. I think it's a stunning looking building, absolutely beautiful. Charlie's down there, like he's decided to go and try and find a cat. He's off. Okay, just on the corner by Bridge 3. There's more loading wharfs on the far side, look. And it'd been the same again, it'd all been for loading coal. This area here was the Courtaulds building. So they made a lot of man-made fibres at Courtaulds. In the end they ended up making cigarettes and cigarette butts. But at one stage this had all, everything they made would have come out off these wharfs here, look. All the way along. Bit of painting work going on over there, look. Looks a lot better than it did. So as I say, this was all Courtaulds originally. So that building just through there, and then the one the other side of Fosel Road. That's the only thing that's left of the old Courtaulds factory that was here now. I'll show you the other one in a minute when we get around there. Got a fabulous clock tower there though. And bridge number 3. And again, hole cut in the wall up to allow the firemen to put hoses through. Another rubbing post, look. I do love them. I do love them. And this is another bridge that several narrowboats have hit the wall of. You'll see in a second. So there you go, look, quite a bit of damage on the wall there. And I was saying before about the Courtaulds building, just through there, you can just see it there. That's the only thing that's left now. The old Courtaulds factory that was on this side of the road is now all houses, look. It's all new builds. And that's not a bad thing. You know, people have to live somewhere, you know. Got a nice little bit of artwork here, look. And all this section here has all been nicely painted, look. And this is all done through the Canal and River Trust, in cahoots with the Canal and River Trust. That's a nice old bit of carving there, look. Beautiful. Beautiful. Okay, let's keep going. We ain't far from the boat now. There's Charlie, look. Fishing. Only he's fishing for ducks. He hasn't seen the one that's just swam out behind him. He'll go mad any second now. Here he goes. He's a nutcase. And yeah, Charlie, you're a nutcase, aren't you? Yeah, he's not interested in what I've got to say, look. Nice little ducky. Okay. And we're still walking past what would have been the old Courtaulds factory. Even more new builds going up now. I walked along here 4 weeks ago, and none of this was here then. Wow. And also, look at that workboat, look. They're out here doing work on the canal. Must be doing some dredging by the look of it, because they've got the empty barges and some cranes there, look. The Rother Group, working in partnership with the Canal and River Trust. That's awesome. Actually, they're doing bank work, look. Because if you can see that, look, that's a hammer drill on the end of that digger. And then on the other side of it, they've got rocks. So they're not doing dredging, they're doing bank work. Just down here is obviously what they're doing. So let's go and have a look. Let's go and be nosy. There's lots of rubbish in the canal today, unfortunately. Not only is there a lot of plant matter, there's also a lot of litter as well, which is a shame. Never mind, pallet there, look. You wouldn't want that getting tangled in your prop, would you? I was chatting to one of my subscribers about a year or so ago, probably a little bit less than that, 6 months ago. And when I came out of Coventry, on the corner back there, he said he came out of Coventry late 70s, early 80s in a canal boat. And the canal was that deep then that there was a car in the canal, and they went over the top of it. They could clearly see the car, they went over the top of it. Wow, so this is what they're doing, where the towpath has washed away. They're putting new Armco in, reinforcement. I dare say the back of the Armco they'll fill with gravel and then concrete it, I should think, just to make it nice and strong. And that Armco is all galvanised, that'll last for years. All that galvanised, that'll last for years. Cracking job. Awesome. There's a metal yard there where they do metal recycling, scrap yard, whatever you want to call it. I could imagine this all being houses in a few years' time. That scrap yard will be disappeared. All them containers will go, and this will all be housing, I should think. Just come up to bridge 3, and got these little planters, look, tyres with daffodils and stuff in. That's nice. A couple of raised beds, look. And they've got some more tyres here stacked up as little raised beds. I think that's brilliant. I think that's absolutely beautiful. Anyway, coming to bridge 3. And again, look, you can see in the middle of the bridge there's a hole cut so the fire brigade can get their hoses through. A lot of pigeons here. Oh, pigeon! Could be Perry, not sure. Charlie's getting very excited. I think it must be the flapping feathers that gets him going. So you can see again, look, that bridge has had a fair old whacking it over its lifetime, look. Yeah, there's been a few boats hit that, look. Oh, and there's something lurking in the water there, look, waiting for you to wrap your prop around it. And it looks a big lump of steel as well, that does. It doesn't look like wood, it looks like steel. What a shame. Okay, let's keep going. Charlie's had a drink. Right, let's keep going. Yeah, he's barking at the pigeons now. He can't resist. He'll catch up when he's ready. And still, look, loading wharfs all the way along the side, look. So I believe now we're coming up to the back of what used to be the arms factory. There was they used to make the big naval guns here for the Second World War and the First World War actually. Probably went back even as far as the Boer War. And earlier in the video when I mentioned the loop line used to run into here as well, into the big arms factory. And all the way along here, look, you've got the loading wharfs there. All the way along, you've got the loading wharfs. I was chatting to a guy the other day, and he said the arms factory here at one stage, it was the longest building, the longest continual building in Europe or something at one stage. It was huge. How true that is, I don't know. I know it was a big factory anyway. And like I said, it had its own railway sidings and all sorts, and the guns used to come in, used to be taken out by train. And I suppose a fair amount of stuff would have gone out by canal boat as well. I know a lot of the coal, I think it's back then, everything was run by steam. They had steam boilers and steam engines to run everything. So everything was done with coal. So even back to the Second World War, this used to be a very busy canal with the coal boats running. They used to do a run loop. They'd go down to London, pick up out the docks in London, bring stuff like steel and aluminium back up to Birmingham, and then they'd come out of Birmingham, run down to the Nuneaton and Bedford, load up coal, and then quite often bring it into Coventry, or run the coal all the way back down to London again. And that was a regular, during the Second World War, that was a regular circular route. You know, London, Birmingham, Coventry, back down to London. Just keep doing circles. And the boatmen wouldn't have had holidays or anything like that. They'd have worked continuously, 7 days a week, 365 days a year. And the armaments factory here would have been one of their drops. Charlie's being stalked. There's one thing I will say. The Canal and River Trust have done a magic job of the towpaths down here, because they're all from Coventry Basin now all the way out to Hawkesbury Junction, where the Greyhound pub is, or Sutton Stop. The footpaths are concreted all the way along, tarmacked and concreted all the way along. I don't know whether you can just see that building over there, look, that one there. That's the original building from the World War II, from the armaments place. I mean, that's fairly long now, and that's tiny compared to what it used to be years ago. It's only a fraction of the size of what it was. So I don't think any of these houses would have been here. They'd have been post-war. See all the houses just over there. They're all quite modern. Yeah, so I'll go back, sorry, what I was saying. Yeah, so the Canal and River Trust have done a great job of the footpaths down here. The only drawback is a lot more cyclists are using it now, which means it's become a bit of a cycle racetrack, but it's not been too bad so far today. And if you are a cyclist, ding your bell. Everybody likes a bell dinging. Give us a bit of warning that you're coming. Awesome. Alright, and as we speak, there's a cyclist coming. Get the dog out of the way. See these loading wharfs here? So they're a lot more modern. They would have been Second World War. Well, the wharf would have been here originally, but I think they've been revamped in the Second World War by the look of that. That looks a lot like late 30s, early 40s concrete. And that's the old armaments building, or one of them. There'd have been loads. I'd say this place had its own railway siding and all sorts. It was huge. A couple of little derricks there, look. There and there. That one there's got a football wedged in it, look. Must have been a good shot with a football to get it wedged over there from here. Yeah, there's all loading wharfs all the way along here, look. And it would have all been for coal to power the factories. Not long now until we're back at the boat. The wharf where Precious Jet is moored would have been a coal wharf, or part of the coal wharf for the factory. It'd have all been intertwined, one or the other. You know what I mean? And as I say, the wharf was part of the coal supply for the factory, and it would have been a coal supply for the local area as well, you know. Like I said, back then during the war, everything ran on coal. Even people's homes were heated by coal back then. So coal would have been a big, you know, big commodity. And a lot of canals were built originally just for coal, just to transport coal. Coal was that valuable, it was worth building a canal just to transport it. And I think when they did the Bridgewater Canal up near Manchester, when they built that, I think the price of coal in Manchester, once it was open, they got the coal to Manchester, the price of coal dropped by 3/4 or half to 3/4, something like that, because it was so much easier to get the coal. I mean, before they'd transport the coal on carts, ox carts or whatever, and I mean, how much can an ox cart carry? A couple of ton, maybe 3 at most. A canal boat was carrying 50 or 60 tons, 40, 50 tons, you know. And you got one boat, one horse could tow 2 or 3 boats, I presume, or butties. So the price of coal dropped massively. So yeah, coal was a big thing. And I think if it wasn't for coal in England, I don't think you'd have any of the canals you got now. Nowhere near as many. So all the new industrial buildings over there, look. Okay, nearly at the wharf. Keep saying that, but we are nearly there. Just come up to Bridge 4A now. In fact, we're going to walk over the top of Bridge 4A, because Bridge 4A is the bridge hole that takes you into the wharf. Got a couple of fishermen down here, like fishing. You got the linear moorings down there, look. I do quite fancy one of the linear moorings. Here we go, there's the wharf. Awesome stuff. And Precious Jet's the second boat in. Sitting rather high in the water today, look. I do need to get some ballast in the front. I think I need about half a ton. Anywhere between 1/4 and half a ton, just to bring it down, get it level. And a little bit more in the back of the boat as well, just to drop the back of the boat down a little bit as well. So, there you go. Right, that's me for the day. I hope you've enjoyed the walk today, and the little walk around town, and along the canals as well. So yeah, hope you've enjoyed. So if you're not already subscribed, then please consider doing so, much appreciated if you do, and also like the videos, and as always, your comments, I love your comments, they're fabulous. So anyway, take care of yourselves, take care of your families, be happy, stay safe. Bye for now.